So today I have the rest of the Chanel Fall collection. Now I've done a video with the Divination palette and the Lavender blush. I will make sure that is linked in this video. But today I have the more neutral, warm-leaning part of the collection, which is the Blood Orange blush and the Initiation Quad. I already have the Initiation Quad on my eyes. I will show you the video of me applying it. It is the same formula as the Divination. It is an all matte quad. The formula is very smooth, easy to blend out. I really do like the formula of the mattes. They're not the creamiest mattes I've ever used. They are more powdery. There's not a ton of kick up when you put your brush in. But again, these aren't the softest mattes that I've used. They're very nice, but there are other formulas where I would say I like the mattes better. The blushes, the Lavender blush and now this Blood Orange blush, they are very finely milled, and I really like the Lavender for a finishing powder. I will use it again today. The Blood Orange blush I'm going to show you on my face. We're just going to put it on. We're going to see how it looks. I have not used the Blood Orange blush before. The Initiation Quad I tried out a bunch of times just to better understand how it works and wanted to get some thoughts before I filmed with it. But the blush, we're just gonna dive into the blush. The mascara. This is the purple mascara. I am not going to use it today because I'm going to put it on with the Lavender and the Divination in another video or a post on Instagram or something. This is Amethyst. This is the Noir Allure mascara. I do not have great experiences with this mascara. For me, it flakes. The brown one flakes, the black one flakes, the red one flakes. It all flakes on me. So I'm going to try it again. It is a very pretty color, as you can see. I think it'll look really nice with the Divination Quad or any other purples that you have. If you're a lover of purple mascara, I think it'll look very pretty. And again, I think it's a very pretty purple. I just don't particularly like the formula of this mascara. I feel like for me, it flakes. Now, again, I haven't tried this one, so maybe this one is different than the others. But I'm gonna doubt it. I'm not gonna assume one way or another, but I don't think it's going to just suddenly be a new formula. Could be though, could be. Like I said, I'll have a video coming up with the purple mascara. All right, so one more thing before we dive into the blush and the eyeshadow. This is the nail polish that I was absolutely sure I was going to buy. Before I saw anything else, I was like, I'm buying this. This is Phenomene, and it is a duochrome, something chrome. It's got a purple to green shift, which sometimes you can pick up and sometimes not as much. But it is a very unique, very pretty shade. As you can see, I still have on the Hermes shades and I still have on the Dior. So I was like, you know what, let's just add the Chanel to the Hermes and the Dior. So it's really very pretty. And like I said, it's like it's duochrome green purple. I think it's a gorgeous shade. And I knew the minute I saw it, I was like, that is something I'm going to pick up. When I talked about the Divination palette and the Lavender palette, what I said is that it's a little bit different for Chanel, and I applaud them doing something different, but it wasn't necessarily my favorite color story. This color story for the eyeshadow is very much something I would wear. This is the Initiation eyeshadow palette. I think it's very clear. This is a warm palette. It is really pretty. The formula is extremely nice. They're all mattes. Goes on really well, very smooth, but it is a definitely warm leaning palette. The deepest brown in here is cooler leaning. I have that on the outer corner, and I think you can blend the shades together. But if you're using all four shades and you're trying to show the distinction between the different shades, what I would say is it comes across a lot more orange on the eye than it does in the palette. At least on me it does. Doesn't mean it will on everybody, but on me it's a little bit more orange than at first you see. If you look at it next to the Clare Obscur, they are the same formula, as they feel like the same formula. They're both matte palettes, but they're very different. If you like Clare Obscur because of the cool nature of the palette, then you are not gonna like this one, because this is the sister to the Clare Obscur. It's the warm leaning palette. So the Clare Obscur is the cool, and here's the warm. So again, if you like the look of Clare Obscur because of the matte nature of it and how it creates sort of a almost monochromatic look, you know, all the same like tones, but in a cool leaning version, this is the warm leaning version of that. So if you have Clare Obscur, they're definitely different. They're not the same color story at all. And anyway, would I buy this one? Yes, because for me, these types of shades work really well with my hair color and they bring out blue eyes. So if your eyes are blue and you put on an orange shade, your eyes are gonna look bluer. It brings out the blue. So I really like this quad. I think it's very, very pretty. But again, it's an all matte quad. Not everybody's into that. And if you're looking for something cool, the brown shade in here, the deepest shade, is cool leaning, but the rest of the shades, at least on me, go, you know, a much warmer tone. Lips. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the blush. Lips. So I picked up this Liquid Velvet Trio set. So it comes in this little box, and it comes with this little package, little Chanel, I don't know what you'd call this. Chanel, like a little bag, but it's hard. It's like a case. It's like a hard case. It's very cute. Not exactly sure what it'll be used for. Well, I'm going to keep the lipsticks in it. But the shades in here I wanted to show you. I have one of the three shades on my lips right now. This is in shade 228 Fascinante. The other shades in here are 226, and that one is Seducente, and then the other one is 224 Passionante. So I will swatch them on my hand for you so you can see the three shades that come in the trio. They're very pretty shades. They are deeper shades, as you can see by the one on my lip. There's not a light shade in here. I used the Secret in the other video that I did with the Divination palette, and I think that one is probably one of the best neutrals that I have seen. I think it's a great shade. If you want, and you can refer back to that video for that one. So you can see these are, you know, deeper shades, great for fall, 18-month shelf life. These are the matte liquid lips. These are limited edition, or at least the packaging is. I don't know if the shades are, but the packaging is limited edition, and these are the three shades that will come with it. This is the one I have on. This one has a little bit more berry, and this is, I'd say it's almost like a true red, but they're all really nice. I think they're gonna look great for fall. I went with this one because it's the most brown leaning of the three, and I thought for the look that we were gonna do today, I was like, that probably makes the most sense. They're very comfortable for a liquid lip, I will say that. They are a little drying as the day goes on, but they're not as comfortable as the Rouge 31 matte lips. Those things don't feel like matte lips at all. They just feel, they feel very comfortable. These, because they are a liquid lip and they dry down, you know, if you have lips like mine that are very dry, yes, you're gonna feel it's gonna feel a little drying, but honestly, you know, it's not gonna be uncomfortable, it's just gonna be a little dry. So for me, I'm just gonna put balm on throughout the day and see how this wears after it dries down. All right, here we go. The blush. I'm gonna ruin the pretty packaging of the blood orange. Okay, so this has almost a satin finish. Although it says matte, I see a little luminescence in there. And to me, it reads more coral, like an orangey coral, than it does blood orange. But let's put it on the face, see what happens. Because I could be totally wrong. As soon as it goes on my face, it could be totally wrong. Here we go. Oh, that's actually quite nice. But can you see, as I go over this bruise, can you see how there's like a satin, like almost a little bit of luminescence there? So even though it says matte, I don't know, I don't have anything else. I don't have a highlighter. Yeah, I mean, that's got luminescence to it. It feels like it does anyway. That's interesting. I think you could also definitely use the shade on your eyes. It's similar to the initiation shades. Interesting. All right, let's take the lavender powder and just use it as finishing powder, because why not? My overall thoughts about the collection, and again, I haven't tried the mascara to give you an idea, to give you details on whether it flakes or not, but I think it's an interesting departure for Chanel. I'm glad they did the divination palette with the purples and the greens in it. I think, you know, it's different. It's not going to be for everybody, but I do like it. As I said in that video, I'll probably wear the purples by themselves and the greens by themselves, but you know, that just depends. The lavender powder that is this, which is a blush, I am not wearing as a blush. I am wearing as a finishing powder, and I actually think it's quite beautiful. I've had a lot of questions lately about powders, which is I find interesting because we're moving into winter, and I'm getting a lot more questions about powders than I did in the summer. But I would say if you're looking for a pressed powder that's brightening, this one is actually excellent, even though it's not technically touted as a finishing powder. It's called a blush, but it looks really nice. Like, it doesn't settle into lines, and I think it looks beautiful as a finishing powder. I think it looks very brightening and really pretty. I've heard from some folks that they've used it and there was no cheat undertone. There was no problem with a deeper skin tone. So, you know, I think it's worth a try. I happen to think it's beautifully done. This blood orange blush, I think, is also stunning. I did not go in particularly deep with it. I think you could definitely build this up because the formula is good. It's not like, you can see, like, you can definitely get more color from that. It's a pigmented blush. So I like all of the products. The nail polish is very, very cool. And I think the new liquid lips, they're not new, but their formula is new for the Velvet. It's a much better product than it used to be. The mascara, I'm just gonna have to ask for a continuation on that one. I was gonna use it with this look, and then I was like, it's just not gonna look right. If I put on the purple with this orange, to me, it's gonna look cartoonish. So I will put it with the divination and see what I think of it, or, you know, mix it up with some other things. But I have not had great experiences with that mascara before. If you guys have tried it out there and you absolutely love it and you haven't any flaking, let me know. And like I said, I will follow up about it, but I don't have high hopes for it at this point. So I'll have all the links below. At the moment, it's on the Chanel website. It was at Saks and then kind of, you know, disappeared. It is at Ulta. It will be at other retailers. And I have to say, looking at Chanel versus some other brands that have kind of stuck to the same color story over and over again and maybe changed up packaging, I want to give props to Chanel for trying something different. It doesn't always work, but I at least appreciate some creativity. The fact that they did some blues over the summer, the fact that they have this purple and green in the divination palette, and then they have a more, you know, it's a warm leaning but neutral palette for people who don't want that. The purple mascara, again, I'm not into that, but it's something new, it's something different. Not everybody's gonna love it. Some people are gonna be like, no, I want, you know, what Chanel is quote known for. But I have to say, I think it's good when brands do try different things, because otherwise, you know, if you're always doing the exact same thing over and over and over, I think it does get boring. I think it does get tired. Especially when it's the same color story for makeup. You know, makeup, if you have, I think it's innovative. I think it's a little fresh, and I do like it. If I were going to pick between the two quads, though, yes, I would pick the initiation over the divination. With the blushes, I think they're serving very different purposes. The blood orange blush, I think, is gorgeous on the face, but I'm using the lavender powder blush as powder. And the Velvet lipsticks I think are really good. I do like the new formula much more than the old. And the nail polish is just a really cool, it's a cool shade. Let's be honest. So I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear what you think about the collection, what you think about Chanel's direction. You know, they have a new cosmetics, beauty, creative director. So it'll be interesting to see what she does. We won't see it for a while, but it'll be interesting to see what she does with all of this. Who knows? Who knows what direction it will go in. I also want to mention that I did one video, and I'm going to be doing more, where I do sort of more of a let's just chat kind of format. And for that format, I'd love to be able to answer questions posed by all of you. And I don't just mean questions like, what's the difference between one blush and another blush? I mean like questions like, and I do get these a lot actually. What do you think of, you know, this particular fashion house being bought by this? What do you think of a new creative director coming in? What do you think of a brand? What do you think is the best? What do you think of this new trend in makeup? All of those types of things that I would be happy to answer in that format. So if you have questions that you want to ask me, feel free to put them down below in the comments. I'll make sure I pick some to do in that type of format. And I'm going to do that over on Instagram as well, ask for questions. It's not really a question and answer video. It's more of, I'm going to do this like every so often where I talk about, you know, topics in beauty and fashion and all those things, but not specifically like a particular collection or color. Like when I did the last one, I talked about Tom Ford's relaunch of their lipsticks and the lipstick index, which does seem to be what a lot of brands are holding on to, since we're seeing a slew of lip products come out, which doesn't really shock me. So if there are topics or areas of interest or questions that you have, put them down below. I'll make sure I read through those and pick some to do in the next type of video like that. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.